Hey y'all. All right, so coming up to the Unit 1 test, I just want to make sure that we do like a little bit of a review, what should be kind of your focus here. I'm not sure that there's even 8 practice problems as we go through this, but there definitely is some places for you to pause and practice, as well as look at the ones that we do together and get an idea kind of what you need to know as we go through. So first, let's take a look at multiplying fractions. So remember that this is going to be like the railroad, right? So we want to go and make sure that we're multiplying straight across on top, straight across on bottom in that fraction. So multiplying straight across in the numerator, straight across in the denominator. We'll talk about signs and that second step in just a second. So first, let's just take a look at this. Now, you can reduce before you multiply. You don't have to. I want to show you what's going to happen. If I multiply straight across in the numerator, straight across in the denominator, I'm going to get 3 times 8, 24. 6 times 9, 54. Went blank for just a second there. All right. I know that these are both able to be reduced. These are huge numbers. I don't really want to mess with these, but let me show you a different way. So let's just pause on reducing these. You can reduce in your fraction before you even multiply straight across top and bottom. But there has to be a multiple from the top and a multiple from the bottom. So one in the numerator, one in the denominator. They can be diagonal. As long as you're multiplying two fractions, you got to make sure that you've got like one from each level. So for example, I see 3 here and I see 9 here. I know that they can be divided by 3. So essentially, if I had that fraction, I'm really reducing by 3. And so I get a 1, and here I would get a 3. That chops our numbers down significantly when it comes to multiplying straight across top and bottom. All right, same thing happens with the 8 and the 6. I know that these are both multiples of 2. So I can reduce by 2, getting a 4, reduce by 2, getting a 3. You cannot do any kind of reducing if they're on the same level. So here they're both in the denominator. There's nothing else I can do. 3 and 4, you're not going to find anything. 1 and 3, I mean, you're just going to have 1 and 3, right? The 1's going to keep coming up. So when I multiply straight across now, I'm going to get 4 over 9. That's actually our final answer. All right, but now I want you to pretend we didn't have that answer, and now let's look at this really like heavily loaded number here, this fraction. I see that they both share a 6. So really what you're doing here is you can reduce by 6. 24 divided by 6 gives us a 4. What you do to the top, you do to the bottom. 54 divided by 6 gives you a 9. So you're going to get this answer either way. You're either going to deal with some big, nasty numbers, or you're going to get familiar with how to reduce this before you multiply. All right, let's look at the next one. Nothing can be reduced here. If you think about 5 and 4, they have no multiples, no factors that are going to be in common. So we can't do anything, but we can multiply straight across top and bottom. 1 times 4 is 4. 3 times 5 is 15. Notice I have not even looked at the signs, okay? But I want to point out something here. Whenever we are multiplying or dividing, if the signs are the same, the answer is positive. If the signs are different, the answer is always negative. So here I've got a negative fraction times a positive fraction. I know that my answer is going to be negative. All right, denominators do not have to be the same when multiplying or dividing fractions. Remember that denominators need to be the same when we're adding and subtracting fractions. We want that common multiple. All right, but in multiplying, straight across top and bottom. Let's look at the next example. Next, obviously, dividing. All right, here you might think of KCF or KFC if you're like the hungrier type. All right, and so they both do the same thing. You're going to keep the first fraction. You're going to change the division sign to multiplication. You're going to flip the second fraction, otherwise known as the reciprocal. All right, but first, if there are mixed numbers, which I do here because I need to practice this, right? You need to change those into improper fractions. So bigger on top, smaller on bottom. How do we do that? We do it to make it mad. All right, we multiply, then we add, and keep it over the same denominator. So we'll go ahead and go through some practice here. All right, so check it out. If I do my little C here, and I multiply down here, and I add up top, what I'm doing here is 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11. Keep that denominator. Remember, this fraction was negative. All right, let's not change anything yet. I'm gonna go ahead and keep everything in division problem still. Let's change this next mixed number into an improper. Doing the same thing. Multiply these two, add the top, keep it over the same denominator. So 5 times 1 is 5, plus 4 is 9 over 5. All right, now we go through and we do either the KFC or KCF, whatever you want to call it. We're going to keep the first fraction. We're going to change that division sign into multiplication. Notice I'm using the dot. It's all good. Still means multiplication. Then I'm going to flip that second fraction, all right, into the reciprocal. So if it's 9 over 5, it's just going to be 5 over 9. All right, and then I'm just back at multiplying, which we just did that on the previous slide. All right, so multiply straight across, top and bottom. I'm going to get 55. That should be a 5. All right, 55 over 27. I can tell you right now that this is not going to reduce at all because I looked already at my numbers and I'm thinking, okay, 11 and 9 don't have any factors in common, neither with 3, neither with 5. A lot of these are prime numbers, so they only have their factor, the other multiple of 1 in themselves, right? So we can leave this here. However, a negative times or divided times a positive, so the signs are different. Our answer is negative. All right, we want to change that back into a mixed number. Then what we're doing here is we're just dividing. And so I'm going to take this 55 and I'm going to divide it by the 27. And I'm asking myself, how many whole times does 27 go into 55? Well, if I add really quickly, I believe it is 2. All right, because that's going to be 54 when I check it. But I have a remainder, and that's okay. All right, look at how this answer transforms. Still going to be a negative answer, but it's going to be 2 whole times. That's where that 2 is coming from. A remainder of 1. That's where that remainder comes from. And over that same denominator, so over 27. So this right here, these are equivalent, y'all. Equivalent means that they're equal. All right, if I do the C on that 2 and 1 over 27, you're going to get negative 55 over 27. All right, I left one there for you because that was like a big mouthful. Let's go on to another one. All right, so Pemdas, I did a quick video on this. So math operations here, definitely know that we're talking about parentheses, exponents, multiplication, and division, and then addition and subtraction. Multiplication and division are both the same color because we do them from left to right as if we're reading. Same thing with addition and subtraction, left to right as if we were reading. So looking at this top one, anytime a number is outside of a parenthesis like this, that operation is multiply. But I can't do any multiplication without doing inside the parentheses first. So that P kind of comes into play there. We have to do that one first. And when I look at this, I need to remember my addition and subtraction rules with positives and negatives. So here, if I look, I've got a negative number plus a positive number. Well, these are different signs. So I'm going to subtract the numbers and I'm going to take the number that has like more. If they were like a competition between 3.5 and 2, the positives or the negatives are going to win, right? And so since they're different, I'm really subtracting first. So out here to the side, I'm just going to do 3.5 minus 2. Remember, 2 is a whole number. So if I line it up with those decimals, I got to think that it's coming from right there. So my difference here is going to be 1.5. But when I look back at my numbers and I compare what should the sign be of the answer, Well, once I take away 2, I still have more negatives left. So in fact, this is going to stay negative. All right. Then remember me, I like to copy everything down, even if it's tedious to do. So what I'm doing here is all I have left is to multiply 1.5 and 1.8. All right, and I'm not even worrying about the positive and negative until the end. We'll go ahead and we'll deal with those rules as we get them. Let's go ahead and multiply. So 8 times 5 is 40, carry my 4. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 4 is 12. I'm done with the 8, so I'm going to hold that spot right there with a 0. Then 1 times 5, 1 times 1, and then I add all of this up. I'm going to get a 0, a 7, a 2. Go back and count 1 space, 2 spaces, jump back 1, 2 spaces. So my answer here definitely going to be 2.70 or 2.7, but go back now to where you were multiplying. You had a positive number times a negative number. And anytime you multiply and there are different signs, your product or the answer is going to be negative. So our answer is going to be negative 270. So you kind of see, like, I leave the negative stuff until the end if I don't have to mess with it. You're really just adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, and kind of looking at your rules after that. There's another one there to go ahead and practice on your own. One thing I just want to kind of explain here, when we subtract, you're kind of following this rule here. It's the same as adding the opposite. So instead of calling this a subtracting 6.3, you're really, all right, I'm adding the opposite. All right. Now, the opposite, though, of this 6.3 is a negative. So I just want to go back and do this again, okay? We don't really have like a subtraction, because if you did 4 minus 6.3, you can't do that subtraction. So you got to think about it like this. You're going to change the sign of this I hate that word, all right, the subtrahend, all right, and then use addition rules. So what you're doing is you're basically adding the opposite. Adding, that's how it gets to a plus. The opposite of 6.3 is really a negative. All right, then you just follow the addition rules. You have a positive number and a negative number. You're really just doing this, the different signs. Now you can subtract them and think about it like, oh, the 6.3 is negative. My answer here after I subtract is still going to be negative. And then you would go ahead and multiply times the 3.4. This takes practice to kind of grasp, but you should have already had that uncomfortable feeling back in 6th grade or earlier, right? Once you started positive and negative integers. So just a little review here. Okay, I think I'm going to run out of time, so I might have to cut this in half for my recording. So let me see if I can finish this one, and then we'll go from there. All right, so here we go. We want to make sure that we can go back and forth between decimals. I want you all to realize here that 1/4 is really 1 divided by 4. If you needed to divide that, you are just simply dividing 1 divided by 4. 4 does not go in. Add your decimal. Bring a 0 there. Does 4 go into 10? Yeah, it goes in twice. All right, that's subtracting an 8. You have 2 left. Since you have the remainder, you bring down another 0, and 4 goes into 25 times. So you're seeing here that this is going to be 0.25. If you want to go back and multiply with decimals, I just want you to remember that. There are benchmark fractions that you should memorize. Those are your halves, your thirds, your fifths, your fourths, anything that's like really common, your eighths, your tenths, all of those, we should know those decimal values. So my video is about to end, so we'll go ahead and pick up Unit 1 review on this slide on the next video.